All right, so welcome everyone. We are at the last Level Up Leader meeting of this segment, and I'm excited to get started. So thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. If you're listening, make sure that you pay attention to the end where you will have some homework to give back to me. So we're going to start with a win for the week. So if you had something good that happened in your life or in your business in the last week, I'd love for you to volunteer to share that. And yeah, anybody want to start us off?
I can.
Okay, thanks, Jessica.
My win for the week is that my kids got back to school. So we moved and got into our new house, which you can see we still need to figure out what paint we're gonna do. But yeah, just I feel like every week I just kept telling myself, like, I just gotta get through this and this and this. And like my last big thing was like when the kids get into school, then I can finally breathe again. So I'm breathing again.
Yay! That's awesome. That's a big win. Those of us that homeschool are real quiet. We're like, see the bus go down the road sometimes, and I'm like, wait, wait, we're here, still here. Okay, Lisa or Shirley, do you want to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So nothing really with my business, but we started back to our full-time swim. My daughter actually moved up a swim team, so she's with all new people, and we got through the 1.5 hour practice today. So
Awesome.
yay.
And all new people means all new moms, right?
Nobody sits there. Nobody
Oh,
sits at the
shoot.
pool.
That started
Yeah.
happening with us with dance too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yep.
okay. Just
Yeah, they
kinda,
drop and go because it's
hi
so
everyone,
long.
I'm Shirley. How's it going? Oh, funny. Okay, Lisa, you're up.
I'm recovered. I guess that's
Yay!
good. So getting back to the normal part. But my youngest got sick this weekend. So it's just like
Like a vicious cycle, isn't it?
but it's summer. You're not supposed to get sick during the summer. What's going on?
I know. I haven't been sick yet, and I don't knock on wood. I won't do that, but I take a couple things. I take elderberry every single day, like the real elderberry that's made like as a syrup. And then most nights I take like a drop full of colloidal silver. And I'm like saying that that's what's helping me. Cause I have one kid that's been sick twice in the last like week. Like he was sick, got over it for a couple days, and then like was sick again a little over a week later. So it's like, what's going on? Okay. So my win is, let's see, I have a bunch of them. But I ended up getting quite a few new customers last week. Just referrals came in. So my personal business, I feel like is picking up from where it was. Like I was kind of feeling stagnant in where I was. And of course, we launched our daughter to college, and she's doing really well. And so even though I'm sad, that was successful, right? That was a win for us to get to that point and help her through that, and then be sad. So that's a great win for us. So thank you for sharing those. I hope that you celebrate your wins. I think that so many times we have the negative that just sort of sits, like gunk, and it's just sort of all around us. And I am guilty of this too. No matter how positive I look, I have the negative that just sits in my life and, get stuck in it. So we got to kind of get those wins so that we're not stuck. So I asked you guys to give feedback on what you wanted to talk about today. And, one of the reasons why we're regrouping and redoing this Level Up group is because, we always want to be starting and ending something, right? It's so fun to start something new and then to bring it to a close that's good. It feels like an accomplishment, right? So reflecting on what we've learned, talking through what we've done. We've talked about so many things, just the runners and the sleepers, the red light stories, all sorts of things that we've talked about. And you guys are asking me questions about a lot of the things that we've talked about. So it will be a great way for us to review. The red light stories never go away. Okay, so they never go away. They're always there. But your reaction to the red light stories is what changes. How quickly you turn a red light story to a green light story that's the success, right? And then we're always going to be dealing with who can we talk to next about the business? Who can we talk to about hosting? How can we deal with our teams? What do we do when someone doesn't do anything? All of that stuff. So those are things that we're always going to have. We like to say that 1/3 are coming in, 1/3 are here and working, and then 1/3 are leaving. And it's actually probably more than that. It's less than 1/3 are coming in, about 1/3 are working, and like more than 1/3 are leaving. And you guys are experiencing that. And so we're going to talk through these questions, see if you guys have stuff to share. And hopefully I don't talk the whole time, because nobody wants to hear me talk the whole time. So I made a list of, some of the questions that you guys had. So I'm going to start at the beginning and just kind of go through that, fly through that. Jessica's question, hopefully it's okay with you guys if I just say what your question is, because that's what I think would be best. But so Jessica's question is that, she struggles with team volume, right? People join and then they join and have 0 PV. And so how to deal with that? What do you do when you're the only one with volume? And it's like, so again, establishing the runners and the sleepers. And I do want to go back to, because I think you guys are getting good at that. Like if we talk about that enough, you guys are going to grab that. That's going to make sense. And you should know that pretty quickly when someone joins, but you don't want to not help them because they're a sleeper. So we're going to talk through that. So I loved it, Jessica. I loved it that you took screenshots of what you were saying to your group and how no one was commenting. Okay. That is couple things. It's so lonely, right? It feels so lonely when no one is commenting, no one is saying anything. That's the first thing. The second thing is it feels like you're bugging them, right? Does it feel like you're hounding them, bugging them?
Yeah, I think like, am I annoying them? Do they not want to do this anymore? Like and I actually went live. We have my own group page too, which really is not that active. I get more feedback in the messages, which is so that tells you how much feedback I get. But I did do a video today, kind of just like, hey guys, I just want to connect here and see what's up and how you're doing. And if you're wanting to do more with your business, or just kind of gauge where they're at, because they're not responding to the messages. So I thought maybe a video, we'll see. And one person has already. So but I just thought, well, the messages isn't working. And even just if I message them one-on-one, I still will get, some of them won't answer me either. So they're sleeping.
So there's a couple things I would do with that. There are some things that I won't do in a group chat. So you guys experience our Level Up group chat, and what you probably don't hear are the crickets from some people, right? You probably, because it's an active chat, and a lot of you are runners, right? A lot of you really want your business to work, but there still are some people, and I can say this because that's who I am. I'm a realist, and I'm also a person who I have decided that I'm going to lead. And so a leader points out the obvious or the not obvious, right? And a leader is not afraid to say something that might hurt somebody's feelings, even though it's the truth. hang on just a second. Can you guys hear the basketball like constantly bouncing, or can you not hear it? Okay, then I'm going to leave that alone. It's just driving me crazy, but that's fine. So, so one thing that I would do is make sure that you are messaging people privately. Keep in mind that you are really into Color Street, and your people, we like to call them glorified customers. So I want you to think, Jessica, and this is for the rest of you too, but I'm helping Jessica with her problem, and you guys are going to gain from this too. But I want Jessica to think of her team and those that have joined. A lot of times, whose idea is it that they should become a stylist? That this would be so fun for them? Yours. It was your idea. Okay. Which is fine. But I want you to remember that it wasn't their idea, and they don't even know what to expect. They don't really know what it means to be a stylist. They've probably never run their own business before. All they know is what you do, and you do a lot more than what they want to do. And so what's coming in? All sorts of failure stories from the very get-go. I can't be like Jessica. She posts in her group 3 times a day. She goes live every single week or multiple times a week, and I can't do that. So don't start the red light stories on how you're a bad leader because you didn't know that or you didn't do that. Don't do that. Start telling yourself that, like, oh yeah, these people are like customers, but they just so happen to have a website where they can buy stuff on a discount. And so make sure that all of them are in your VIP group. All of them. Okay. If they want to be, can be in your VIP group, because that's where they're going to get their ideas. That's where they're going to see the commenting. And then also one thing you can do is you can say, hey, let's be in each other's VIP groups. And let's like sprinkle the love in those VIP groups. And so like when I share something, will you comment on my things? And I'll do the same for you. And so it's kind of like this little game of how you can be sort of helping one another and like loving on stuff, but you're not really going to buy. Like you're not going to buy from your team member, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. But I have stylists that I have personally enrolled, a few of them in my group. Okay. And I don't let a lot of people, because it just gets really muddy. It just gets so muddy in there. But I let people in that I have personally enrolled, that I am working with. And like those girls tonight, some of you asked, I know Amanda asked about what you're doing to the subscription boxes and the lipsticks. So like I have team members in my VIP group, and like one of them, I love having her in my group because that's where she finds out all her information, because she doesn't read the emails. She's not really in our Glitter Girls group enough. Like she doesn't really get the difference between customer and stylist. Does she sell stuff? Yeah. $200 and some. But she started selling more when I let her be a glorified stylist. So she was like, I didn't even know they were doing this. Subscription box. This is so cool. I'm super excited about this. Well, guess what? Would she have known about it if she wasn't in my group? Probably not. And so I kind of treat her like a customer. When she comments on my stuff, I reply and I'm like, Haley, thank you so much for sharing your nail fee. I just love that. You are so great at applying. I mean, I live it up with these people, because what do I want from them? I want them to love the nails so much that they share it with others and they sell stuff. That's what I want. So if you can think of it that way, does that help at all? Give me some feedback on that.
Yeah, that does help me to switch how I'm thinking about it a little bit. And I am doing those things. I started all of their groups, so I'm in all of their groups.
Yeah.
And they were all, except for Bethany, they were all my customers, so they're all in my VIP group too. So yeah, that does make sense. And something I just feel like I've heard a lot of us say is like, nobody asked me to be a stylist. Like I think Emily, you kind of said that that's kind of how I was too. So I have to remember like it was my idea to be a stylist because I
Yes.
really wanted to do this. But like, but then I want to earn trips and I want to build my business. So then I'm asking. And I think I was listening to a training the other day and people were like, they don't ask people to be stylists. And it's like somebody that's really high up. And I'm like, okay, so I need to change the way I'm doing things. And that was another part of my question. Like I just have this new customer who has put in like 2 huge orders in the past 2 or 3 months, like over $200. And so I kind of want to ask her to be a stylist, but then I'm afraid I'm going to lose her. But I also know like if I don't ask her, I'm not going to get to go on the next trip if I have nobody joining my team because I'm not asking
Well, and
anybody.
keep in mind that if you don't ask her, someone else will. Whether that's for selling Mary Kay or Norwex or something. Like she loves this stuff. And so I think just your approach on, have you ever thought about becoming a stylist? I can tell you a little bit more about what that entails if you'd like. And so we're not going to throw up on them. I mean, I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong because I want to validate that you're doing a lot of things right. I think, one thing that we are worried about is recruiting our best customers. And I think the timing of they're buying $100 and $100 and $100 or $200, and then all of a sudden they become a stylist. And then they've got so many nails that they're not buying anymore. And that may have been the case for them as a customer for you too, that they were buying and buying and buying. And then they're like, I don't really need a lot of nails right now. I am good on what I have and I need to use what I have. So, understanding that just because they became a stylist doesn't mean that they're not going to be using their nails or whatever. A lot of times I will go back and I'll say, like, what do you have for inventory? Do you have a lot of strips? I'll kind of just be an investigator with them. Just trying to find out like, what do they have? What's going on in their business? And then it might open up, like, if I ask you, well, how many sets do you have? And you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many sets. It's so overwhelming. Okay. Now I can help you differently, right? Now I understand that, like, oh, you're not selling things because you have all this inventory and it's overwhelming you. So you're doing nothing probably. Right?
Yeah.
Our biggest problem, obstacle, whatever we want to say, gap. There we go. We talked about gaps. And so our biggest gap is that we are not getting enough new people all the time. We have put the pause button on new business because we have current customers, and that feels good that we have current customers. And it feels good enough that we're like, oh, I don't need to do parties. I don't need to do this, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. We need to, and I'm saying we as in all of us, need to get back to asking for parties and doing parties. And whether that is like 2 people doing manis together or whatever it is, we need to continue to have new business. Where does our new business happen this month? How many times does new business happen for me this month? I had hardly any new business in August. That's a problem. And I need to fix that. And I did get a bunch of referrals and blah, 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 blah. So I did do it that way. But in September, I need a better plan for how I have new business. Okay. So if that's a vendor and I have a vendor event and 1 party. So like that needs to be upped. The ante needs to be up because like you said, how are you going to earn the trip? Well, how you're going to earn the trip is by doing things with new people. You can't rely on your VIP group to give you new stylists. I can't. I know that. I've asked everybody. Like I've all been asked. I have to keep asking them, I guess. But yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
So I think that's the struggle with some team members that are not doing as well as they don't believe in this new customers and doing parties and doing these things, and they're relying again on the same people who have a gazillion sets. Yep. Right? And they keep saying, oh, my VIP's group is dead, nobody's replying, like, but you have to reach out and do the new thing and get new people in there, because it also hypes up the group as well. Like if you get people that are really excited about something new, they're going to be excited in your group.
Yeah.
And then back to your like inviting, I like that idea about inviting team members to be in your group to see what you're doing and the lives that you're doing, and then also being what I call is like the hype lady, or what, I don't know, it's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like I do
Yeah.
it with two of my other friends that have other businesses, and we do that to each of our groups. Like we're all in groups and we
Yeah.
hype like it up, and it really helps, and it makes people feel more comfortable also.
Mhm. And you can give kudos to those people. Like, there is like a habits app. And so you can create different things that your team does, like different games, and you can give stuff away. When was the last time you gave something away to your team? I give stuff away all the time. When was the last time you guys did that? Are you giving things away? Are you having incentives? What if you had an incentive and you reached out to every person on your team? You guys have small enough teams that you reached out to everyone and said, "Hey, I have a new incentive that I'd love to offer you. Are you interested?" And then if they say, "Well, yeah, what is it?" Well, if you go through the whole training app, which is not that much, you guys, the training module is very small. I'm going to let you pick two sets from my unicorn stash, or I'm going to give you a set of erasable pens, or, whatever. I have a prize for you when you complete that. It's not a lot. Everyone in our team can go back to basics. Everyone can go through the training app and do the training app again. So it's not a lot. It sounds like a lot. I'm not saying go through the entire app. There's, steps to going through the new stylist training. So it's not overwhelming by any means. But okay. And then, so does that help with the join zero PV, blah, blah, blah? I think being an investigator is really going to help you, and then incorporating each other in groups. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if you congratulated someone for being a star stylist in your VIP group, and you did that in your team, your group thing, where you said, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to use Lisa. Lisa was the top stylist contributor in my VIP group this month, and I'm sending her pack pens, a lip liner, a lip balm, whatever. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being one of those contributors in my group. It really makes a difference to know that when I post something, that someone is going to comment on it. It's not going to die, and just helping them realize that you have those struggles too, because they look at you like you're perfect, and you're not. I know that. I'm not. Also, for me, it's great accountability, knowing that I need to keep my group up and do my group and do that first, because I have people watching me in my group. And also a great way for me to share content with them, how I do this or that. I sat with a team member the other day, and she was doing this. She wanted to know how I did this or that. And I say, well, what I do is I post one this or that every hour, and I give them 2 days to go back and comment on every single one. And then I pick one this or that image. So like I'll say this or that, Glad You Camo, or It Takes Tucson. And then the next hour I'll post another one, and then I'll post another one. And I copy and paste like almost everything on it. And I do that for a day. And then I give them like another day to kind of catch up, or the night to catch up, or whatever. And then I say, you never know which post I'm going to grab my winner from, so make sure you find them all. And then I just grab a random winner off of one. Well, I'm copying and pasting the verbiage on the post. Super easy. So I'm like, this or that, 1 of 7. And I'm just changing the 1 to a 2. But I'm teaching and training them how I do things in my VIP group, so that they can go and do it in their VIP group. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's go to, if that answers your question. Does anybody else have any comments on that? Also, I think the other thing is, if they've had zero PV, getting in the habit of saying, hey, I see you haven't had any PV for a couple of months, and It's my job to help you and make sure that you're feeling successful in your Color Street business. Are you feeling successful with that? And if not, what can we do to change it? And making that a conversation where there's questions and they need to answer them. Some people feel successful knowing that they can buy at a discount whenever they want. They don't care if they pay the fee. It's so weird. Okay. It's just weird.
So Emily, question. So that zero PV thing, I saw that they extended it to the end of the year. I know.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I've given pushback on that. I gave pushback on that from the very beginning. But another way to find out about your team members is so like if I go to Jessica and I click on her and it pulls up her name in pink, right under that, it says if she's got a credit card declined. That's a totally different conversation. Surely we've talked about this. I think everybody has talked about this with me. So I do that first and check there first to see if their credit card's declined. Then I continue a conversation. I'm going to tell you guys, it would take me an entire month probably to message through my people because I have so many sleepers. And you think I don't. All of your sleepers are my sleepers. And I don't want to overstep that, right? They're in our group. They're in your group. They're in your VIP groups. They're in all of the things. But I will always come alongside you and talk to somebody who you can't get in touch with, or you just are like, white flag, I'm done, I surrender. Just let me know. And I'll come in and do a message to them and just be like, hey, what's up? Okay. So Lisa has a question about runners and sleepers. What do you do with the sleepers? What do you do? Because people have different personalities. They have negativity. They have all the things, right? It's a struggle, right? And we don't want to let that negativity grab hold of anyone. And so was that conversation in the Level Up group, or was that in a different group with Melissa and her?
Yeah, we did talk about it in Level Up. Yep.
Did that change a little bit?
I mean, change that stylist, like her.
Did it change the dynamic of the group? Because I'm guessing you're in that group.
Oh yeah. I think just for like a moment, like it wasn't, we moved on to the next conversation, but I think at that moment it was awkward, and I had to reach out to my other stylist that was in the group to make sure, like, are you okay? Like, just check in. Like, I said, oh, I just want to check in. That was kind of an awkward, conversation there. So, how's everything going? So I purposely like made sure I did that because I don't want her to also kind of feed off the negativity. Right. So just kind of had to do some damage control, I guess.
Yeah. Great idea. Perfect. I mean, you guys know, because you have families, you have children, that negative breeds negative, right? So, I mean, we don't need to be like toxically positive because that doesn't help either. Because people don't like that. They don't like toxic positivity. Like they're like, you're just picking anything to be positive because you make money on me and blah, 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 whatever. But, yeah, there are some things that you can do with the sleepers. And we sort of talked about that, helping the sleepers with their VIP groups, kind of coming alongside them and being in that group. Try not to overstep your bounds by like posting in their VIP groups or being like, hey, I noticed you haven't posted in 100 years. Like, what's going on? There's time for that. And that relationship needs to be established, right? Before you can, kind of confront or, but we have a lot of personalities in our Glitter Girls group, and I don't see a ton of negativity in there. I don't know if you guys have feedback on that. Lots of different personalities.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it in the Glitter Girls group or like during bingos or anything like that. But maybe it's because they're not there. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Could be. I am definitely one where I stay within my very narrow lane. And I actually try to steer away from any negativity because I already have negative things in my own life and I don't need somebody else's. So like I just say, you know, my lane's very narrow. So when I add negativity into my lane, it goes like this. And I want to stay right on that straight and narrow and just stay in my lane. And I'm sorry you're struggling. Here are some tips that I have, but you know, I know that negativity breeds negativity, and I don't want to do that to you. Also, I don't want my negativity to breed your negativity because that doesn't help you. So when I have a problem, I like to always try to have a solution. So you have a problem. Do you have a solution? Have you thought of something that would be a great solution for this? And then where can you go with that? So, yeah, there's always going to be negativity and there's always going to be unhappy people. And it's really hard to change their happiness for them. It comes from within. So, you know, establishing the runners and sleepers is not a problem, but what do you do with the sleepers? And I think you just reach out and try to start conversations, be an investigator again. And then if there's a ton of discontent and negativity, then again, like I will say, you know, in order to keep doing something, you need 4 things, right? You need belief in the company, you need belief in the product, you need belief in the team, and there's one other one, belief in product. Oh, the compensation plan. Okay. So there's 4 things. So I'll say that again. In order to be working with a business, you need belief in the product, the compensation plan, the company, and the team. Those are like 4 things. And so in order to keep going with something, you need 2 out of the 4. So if you don't have belief in the product, that's going to be a tough one. But most people do. They believe in this product and they really enjoy it and like it. If you have belief in the team, like our Glitter Girls team, you have belief in that? Do you believe in that team and that camaraderie? Do you believe in the company? And some people don't have belief in the company. They feel like, oh gosh, they're changing things and blah, blah, blah. And then do you have belief in the compensation plan? Do you believe that there's room for growth? Do you believe that you can make more money? All that stuff. Like I said, you need 2 of those in order to successfully move forward with something. So if they're struggling, right, with whatever negativity that they have, that's one way that you can talk through that. I don't know if that helps.
No, I like that. I think that makes sense because I feel like as runners, we're like 3 or 4 of the 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And we can make ourselves believe in something. We can actually make ourselves believe in things. And really, I shared that graphic and I want to just, I think I shared it in this group. Did I share it in this group? I think I did. Where is it? So many messages. Oh, thoughts are not facts. Don't believe everything you think. Gosh, I need that as wallpaper on some wall in my house. Yeah. Thoughts are not facts. And then enrolling conversations. What was your question about enrolling conversations? How to keep having them? Was that what it was?
Was that mine again?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't remember. Enrolling. Yeah, I think I've got it down as far as the wording, but like back to what Jessica's saying, it's like, it's our idea, right? We're the ones who are coming up with it to say you should enroll. But now I'm now struggling. I'm getting good customers that are signing up, but just so they can get a kit. And then I ask, hey, can I invite you to our groups? Can I share like trading information?
I would do that a little bit differently. Let's do that a little bit differently. Let's onboard a little bit differently. Let's give them an incentive to do the training in the app, the new stylist training in the app, and a prize at the end. And then I would say, they talked about this on the leader call today that I really liked, and you may not agree with this, but you can put your own spin on it. She said, 3-back strategy. So there's 3 things that you do with a new stylist. Number 1, you hold a nail bar for them. Okay, so that's the first thing that you do is you hold a nail bar for them. And you know what you can say? What I always do is hold a nail bar. So I don't care if you're planning on selling or not, I hold a nail bar for you. That's my gift to you. Okay. The second thing you do is you hold a nail bar together and you tag team it. So you do some, she does some, you walk alongside each other. Okay. And you can even say it like, my goal is to get you your money back for the kit or whatever it is, but you hold a nail bar, you do it for them. The second thing is you hold a nail bar, but you do it together. So maybe you do the posts or you schedule the posts together or whatever. And the third thing is you hold a nail bar and you just watch. So it's 3 parties, and they could be her as the host every single time because she's always going to have people that don't show up. So the first one is you do it for her. The second one is you do it together and you tag team it, and maybe you create the group on like a Zoom call or on FaceTime or something. And then you kind of talk through the posts, and, she does commenting and you do commenting, or maybe she posts a few things, or you're in person and she talks about, what Color Street is, and you talk about hosting, and then she talks about application and you talk about the business. So you do them, kind of side by side, you do it together. And then the third one is you are the observer. So you're like, you know what, let's schedule your third party. I'm going to be right here if you need me, but I want to make sure that you can do it. So that's like your training. For anything that you do, you have like a training period. So and a lot of times we ask permission for things. Hey, would it be okay if I had a nail bar for you? Hey, would it be okay if I threw a launch party for you? Instead, why don't we do that a little differently? Why don't we say, I'm going to set up your nail bar. So do you want me to go live? Would you like it through Zoom? Or do you want, give them a few options, but I'm setting up a nail bar for you. So I create the group. That's what I do. I mean, just like children, right? Would you ever ask your kids, are you ready to have supper? Are you getting hungry for supper yet? If they're a toddler, no. You're like, you can't have a snack until later because we're going to have supper at 5 o'clock. So let's sit down for dinner. It's 5 o'clock. And if they're like, I'm not hungry. I mean, are you just going to allow this? No, you're going to say it's supper time. We're going to sit at the table and you're going to sit nice because that's what we do. And we've modeled that as a family. Okay. So yeah, Shirley.
So how do you handle them? So, my new stylist, I said, hey, I will set up your VIP group. I'll do a launch party for you. And then crickets, like 12 people are in the group. And then I'm not connected to them. I don't want to, in a normal party, I would start messaging and friending them so they can see my post. So I tell her, hey, you need to be more active in the group. And she just, and so then I start giving her things to post. Doesn't happen. Then I'm like, okay, well, here's, the nail bar and all the assets from there. Let's work on this and nothing. So I'm like, I have my own stuff I have to run. I can't, I'm like, at some point I have to just say, well, I've done what I can, and, I feel bad, but what else can I do?
Well, I think let's go back to, I'm doing a nail bar for you, and I am going to friend all your people, and I am going to get connected with them, because if you drop the ball, then they're my customers. That's what I would do. I'm serious.
Okay.
That's exactly what I do. And, and it's okay. It really is, because let's talk about like our strategy, or our not strategy, statistics on how people stay stylists. And you guys all know, what would be your statistic? If you signed up 5 people this month, how many of them would be stylists next month? How many of them would run a VIP group? maybe 1 or 2. You might have 3 vanish, which sucks. But think of it this way. You have all those people that you're connected with. You have all those people that you can now ask for. And I know Jessica's done this because she's like, this girl hasn't asked for a sale in 5 freaking months. Her people used to buy from me and they don't anymore because they're buying from her, but she hasn't sold anything. I don't want to lose them. So you guys, we got to take this back. Give ourselves, we got to take the reins on this. Stop letting them treat you like a spoiled toddler brat. I mean, I parent different than a lot of my friends do. My kids don't. We just had a conversation about this last night. Well, they're not your parents. We are. We parent very differently. And I know that I am looking at all 3 of you and I know how you guys parent. I know what you're like. So let's take this back. Okay. That's why I said now you have a new strategy. The first one you do for them, just like they're your host. You're messaging the people, you're friending them, you're doing everything. And you're treating her, if she's a crappy host, you're kind of treating her like one. Hey, your party's tonight. You need to show up. Seriously though, you do need to show up because I have a lot of hosts that don't show up. Okay. Go to that BAM party plan. They tell it like it is, and it's super simple. So again, we kind of like treat people like, you know, I really, really want this to work out for you. And I really, really want you to do this. Most of them aren't going to. Okay. And I'm saying this to myself too. And please don't let it be, I am not reprimanding you. I'm saying, let us take this back. Let's do this a different way. Let's onboard differently. Because what we've done, we've now lost customers and lost people and lost potentials because our new stylist didn't do their fair share. They didn't hold up their side of the bargain. Don't you want those customers? Because I sure do. Does that help? Yep. Okay. Andrea, oh, Lisa, did you have any more questions? Did I answer a lot of your stuff?
Yeah, you did. And then I had similar to what Jessica had on the zero PV, but it all ties together. So
Yeah, let's just take these back. I mean, if they're not asking people for orders, then you are. You know, like I know what's going on in Shirley's head is, well, then how do I remember whose customers are whose? Well, it could be that you're going back when that customer orders and you're like, oh, you're also friends with Jessica Bredberg and she's on my team. And then now you're going to Jessica and you're going, just remember that like your people do want to buy stuff because they're buying from me. And have you asked for an order recently? Because they're buying from me. And I really want you to have the order. But I mean, they've connected with me because I'm posting in my group. I mean, like, let's take this back. Businesses take work. And if they're not going to do it, that's okay. They can go back to being a customer and there's no hard feelings. Maybe they just want an affiliate link instead of being a stylist. And it's okay. The sooner we get them to deactivate, the sooner that they can reactivate if they change their mind. But if they sit as a stylist for months and months and months and months, they only have 6 months once they've deactivated to reactivate. So let's chat for a little bit about what you guys did for the subscription boxes and how your people reacted to them. Can we unmute and talk through that really quick? Amanda had a question about that, and I would bet that she would listen to the recording.
sorry, Emily, I have another question. So I've had a lot of the new stylists that signed up said, I don't sell, like I can't do sales. Like, well,
that's great because we don't sell anything.
I couldn't do sales either, but I am.
Yeah.
So
what
does
I
that same
usually say to
principle
that though,
apply?
Lisa, what I usually say to that is I'll say, great, because we don't sell things. I actually do say that. That's great because we don't sell stuff.
You share it.
We don't, because we don't. sales is where you have to learn how to strategically know what people need and go after them for that. We actually love a product and just share it. So like I have Naked Nails, but they have the nail strengthener on. I love using the nail strengthener in between manis. So when I went on tonight before this, I talked to my group about how, yeah, I have Naked Nails because I love our nail strengthener and I'm using it for a little bit, giving my nails a break. But I wanted to make sure to come on and show you about the subscription box. And I'm okay with my nails being naked because I'm also promoting that you don't have to have your polish on 24/7, that you can give it a break, because that's part of how we share it, right? That's important. And that you can use the nail strengthener. You guys all know this. I'm preaching to the choir, but I mean, if they're not in sales, I always say, oh my gosh, thank God that you're not good at selling stuff, because there is no sales requirement. We don't sell anything. And I know that takes a little practice in talking through that. So if you want to practice on me, you can. That's just fine. I will tell you that I'm not good at sales. And then we can have that conversation. But don't worry. Don't worry. You can tell them. I would say almost 100% of people, or maybe even over 90% of people, didn't sell anything at all before they did this. And one of the reasons why people do join Color Street is because this isn't sales. You're really just sharing with people, and they comment on your nails anyway. So let's maybe work through, how would you talk to somebody if they commented you on your nails? What would you even say? And so just kind of going through that with someone, or what, do you know people already that are using Color Street that you can just reach out to and say, hey, I know you use Color Street, and I just wanted to let you know that I also joined Color Street as a stylist, and I do have a customer group. Would you like an invite? So there are some things that they can say where they don't have to be a salesperson. They're never going to cold call anyone. So do you see how that feels a lot different? That's like a sigh of relief, right? For them. Okay. Does anybody else have any comments on that? I know these are hard things, you guys. I know these are like obstacles that feel just so hard. And the more we talk through it, the more we think about it, the easier the conversation becomes. I can tell you right now that I've had a lot of people tell me, I'm not good at sales, and I stopped. I will tell you that. And it just takes a lot of time to be like, oh, that's good. We don't do sales. I don't know of anybody that really does sales. I think when I think of sales, I think of cold calling and all of that. And I'm just happy to tell you that we don't have to do any of that stuff. Does that feel good? And then you might get ghosted, and it's okay. It's fine. All right. So I know what I did with the subscription box. What did you guys do with the subscription box? Did you talk through it?
I've been talking with one of my customers. She's like one of my best customers, and I've asked her many times about not want to be a stylist. So, but she knew that the subscription boxes, like for some reason, I thought they were coming out in July. I don't know, like I thought they were coming out to everybody in July. So I've been talking to her about them for probably a couple of months. And so, when I posted a picture just of me holding my box, she wanted to know. So I did like little snippets of videos just for her first, before I showed it to my whole group. And then a couple of people who either weren't in my group but are bought Color Street from other people, or really haven't been very active, when they saw the box, it says Color Play, they're like, what's that? They were really curious about it. So so I think I got it on Friday, but I didn't go live until today. So I kind of built up a little anticipation about it, and then went live today and went through it. And then I got my lipstick box today too. So I did a different video going through that. But I did say, this is it's not for sure that's going to be like this. And, we're looking for feedback from you guys as my VIP group, what you would like to see, what what things you're excited about. So make them feel like they have input in it too.
I love that.
Yeah, I did similar things. I only did one post, was about, it was like a generic post, a graphic about subscriptions, and I asked like, what kind of subscriptions do you have? And like, like just talked about that, like, what kind of ones, like makeup, coffee, whatever it is. And so that kind of got the conversation started about subscription boxes. And so I did that last week, and then I went live, yesterday, last night. And I did similar to what Natalie shared. I did the giveaway on the lip balm that was in there, and for feedback on subscription. So they gave me like a bunch of them actually commented. They comment on my live. More people watched my live than any other live on that
Awesome.
one. Yeah, and then I posted the giveaway alert thing, and so I'm getting more comments. And then the lipstick one, I just went live before and I had like one person join, but I was like, I'm so excited. I just want to show all the awesome colors and all that. So, hopefully that's getting excitement. And I wrote down, I couldn't find the graphic on like all the ingredients for the lip collection, but I did find the video. And so I wrote down a bunch of notes. So I started, rattling off, includes oil and all this stuff. So
Good.
I haven't done anything with it yet. I videotaped, like, I just video it, opening it just so I could share it later, because I did try doing them today while I was sitting in the car waiting for my daughter to finish piano. So I got halfway through and then like had open sets in the car, and so but I haven't shared that. I get really overwhelmed with a lot of things happening all at once. So I figured I haven't gotten my lipstick yet. It's still showing as the pre-label because
Okay.
I have informed delivery, where you can. Mine has shipped yet. But I was gonna.
It could
put
be
on
that it's
lipstick
kind of, the
first, and then-
tracking is kind of stuck. So you might get
Yeah,
it soon.
yeah. But I figure I'll focus on that and then move to the subscription box after, since that's the order it's coming out in. So that's just me though. I can't be excited about everything all at once.
Yep. Yeah. I just did it. I just did mine right before I came live here. So at 7:00, I created an event for the group and just said that I was going to do the subscription box reveal. And I didn't do the nails at all. I just showed through each little thing and talked through the box. And they really liked that. I asked for feedback, and now I have a post going out here soon. I had a random giveaway. So I am randomly giving away something. If there's comment, they comment and watch the live. So that's just what I decided to do. I don't think I'm going to put them on just because I'm like, I don't know that I already did right angle like 2 weeks ago or something, like a week and a half ago, live in my group. And then I went back and put Supernova over it. And I just feel like I just did this kind of a manicure in my group before we got this box. So I just don't think it's super appropriate for me to do it, but I will if they want me to, and I don't even know, this is a prototype. I don't even know if this is going to be a box, right? So like, I have no idea about that. We are far enough in the message here that I can tell you guys that there is lipstick coming out soon. Like I think September 13th is the rumor that I heard for everyone. But I think as soon as Thursday, we will have an opportunity to purchase lipstick. So.
wait, Thursday, like everybody can purchase or just access?
I think it's like stylists can purchase some. That's the rumor that I heard. So.
Yeah, I saw Kara's coffee that she took off there. So
yeah, all of that stuff. So it was like September 1st and 2nd. And it was like stylists can buy, and they can buy up to 10 of each SKU. but it doesn't launch for customers until like September 13th or something.
Yeah, I don't know if she said the exact date.
I'm pretty sure.
But that was, yeah, it sounded like we were gonna be able to buy stuff early, like you said, a limit of 10, the 1st or the 2nd of September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm excited. I've sold a lot, like kind of pre-sold, because people are like, when that comes out, I want it. Like, I want that color. I want this color. So we'll see. It sounded like there's going to be 12 lip colors, but I haven't seen anything on that. So maybe that'll come out Thursday. I don't know. Whatever. It'll probably come out in the midnight email, because Thursday's the 1st. So then it would be the midnight email on Wednesday. Okay. So there's a couple more questions. So we've got just a couple more minutes. Andrea wanted
Emily, really,
Oh yeah.
sorry, someone posted in one of the graphics groups all of the shades of lipstick that are coming out.
You have that?
I'll put it in the group.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
put it in the, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Andrea asked about VIP group engagement and how to get more people involved. She says she's definitely got runners and sleepers in her VIP group and what to do about them. The best advice that I can give on that is, well, there's two things. Number one, new business. When people come into your group and they're really excited, they just came off a party, they just tried Color Street and now they're a newbie. It's like, it ignites something in your group, because people see somebody else that's excited and then they get excited again, right? And they want to talk about it. And you need people to come in droves. So as you're doing parties, your main focus is to get them in your VIP group, because you really want them to talk about stuff. You want to help your group engagement. Like, you want them to comment on stuff. So give them, free earrings. I do that all the time with my parties. I'll give you a pair of free earrings if you're in my VIP group. It just goes right in your package, or I'll send it to you. Or, give them a $3 off coupon or a $4 off coupon on their first set through your inventory. And they have to do that through your Facebook group. I mean, just come up with something really good so they'll get in there. Like they do when they open a new grocery store. And they're like, we want you to walk in because you'll find lots of stuff that you want. So we're going to give you like $10 off. Yes, I will go to a grocery store for $10 off. So sue me. Come up with something like that. And then also the second thing is, be okay messaging people and saying, hey, Shirley, I noticed that you're not really active in my group, and I just wanted to make sure I connected with you to see if you still want to be part of this group. And if you even know that you're in here. Like when you drop something in a cart and it's like, just a reminder, you have something in the cart. Just a reminder, you have something in the cart. You have something in the cart. You have something in the cart. Are you still there? Do you still want this? It's going to go outside. I mean, that's annoying, right? That continues to happen. We can do that too. And it's not actually annoying. Do you know how many emails I've gotten where I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that because free shipping ends tonight. So just be willing to like have conversations with people and not, and stop, right? Thoughts are not facts. So if you think, they're probably really annoyed with me. They probably don't really like me. They probably think I just want to sell them stuff. That is not a fact. It is your brain's opinion. Let it go. Amy's question, she ended up being somewhere late and not being able to get on. So she says, how do you connect with your team and how much? Do you feel like we talked about that, or should we keep going on that? Anybody's feedback?
I think we did the how. You gave us a lot of examples, but maybe the how much, I don't know if we talked about.
I mean, you don't want to be annoying to someone and they have lives, and especially if they're selling Color Street on the side, but not so much that you're like, oh, I can't message her because she just dropped her kids off at school and it's probably a really hard day. You never know when you're going to interrupt somebody's like hard things. You never know when you're going to get them in a place where they just can't talk. It's okay. So if I'm messaging Jessica and I'm like, hey, Jessica, I just wanted to connect with you. We haven't chatted in a while. How are the kids? Or how's your scholarship business going? Or whatever. And then she doesn't message you back. You can give her a couple of days and then be like, hey, Jessica, I just wanted to double back or come back at you because like, I know how busy life is and how easy it is to get distracted. Did you see my message earlier this week? It's okay to do things like that. And it's also okay to validate that, like, I know that I'm not like your main priority. I know you got other things besides me. I know you have other things besides your color sheet business too. So I just wanted to check in with you and see, right? Or, hey, Jessica, I've sent you a couple of messages and I see you've opened them, but you've never responded. Is everything okay? Are you alive? Did the kids tie you up? I mean, you can throw things in there like that. It's okay. Have they held you hostage? Is anybody in there? Sometimes I'll send like a gift like that, like, are you guys alive in there? You know, or whatever. I mean, it's fine. Be that kind of a person that people actually want to talk to. Because if you're like real stale and like dead sounding, no one's going to respond. So be a person people want to hear from and talk to. Because if you're not, would you message yourself back? That's the question I ask. Would you message yourself back? Because if you wouldn't, then change what you're saying. Okay, I got to make sure that I give you guys a little homework. And here's what it is. So I am ending this group so that I can let some people go and bring some people in. Some people that want to be part of the group or have asked about it. And then, of course, there are some of you that went, I actually never showed up for anything, and that wasn't the right thing for me right now in this time of my life. Or I really had all the intentions of joining, but I never really did, or whatever it was. We want to say goodbye or say hello, right? And we want the camaraderie where people want to be here, just like in our team spaces. That's what I long for. That's why I do these things. So if you don't want to be part of it, no hard feelings, maybe next time, right? So what I would just ask of you is that you would personally message me and let me know, yes, I'm absolutely in on the next group, or I'm going to take a breather on this one. It'll probably be for another 90 days. So we're going into our busiest time. I understand that. September, October, November. That is our busiest time. October is typically our biggest month. And, you know, part of you might go, gosh, it's going to be really busy. Maybe I shouldn't be part of this. And I would question that. I would say, I'm going to be really busy and I really need to stay in that narrow lane where I am zeroed in and focused. If that's where you want your business to go, if you want your business to be like, I'm doing the right things, I'm following the right things, then this is that group to be in. If you have found this to be helpful. The other thing so either yes or no, right? And then the second thing is, what have you gotten from this group that has helped you in your color sheet business for the last 90 days? So give me a little something. And then the third thing is, oh, we lost Jessica because she died. The first thing is, yes or no, I want to be in the group. The second thing is, what have I gotten that has helped my business? And then, you know, maybe something that you would like to hear about, or something that we could change, or just a little bit of feedback on that. Okay. Constructive criticism, if you will. I think we covered some really great things because I feel like we covered some really key points to your business. How to establish runners and sleepers. Here she comes again. How to establish runners and sleepers. How to assess the gaps. That was a big one that we did. And then what to do with a red light story. Change that into a green light story. So I feel like those are 3 things for sure that we really hit the nail on the head. And we would continue to do that because those are things that constantly come, right? So Jessica, now that you're back, I said I wanted 3 things from you. The first one is yes or no, I want to be in the group. You heard that already. Number 2, what did I gain from this group in the last 90 days that I was part of this? And then number 3 is either some constructive criticism, like, hey, I wish we did it this way or whatever. It was, it was too long. That night didn't work, whatever it is. And, or like, an idea that you'd like to touch on. Okay. We kind of did that tonight, but just for future reference. Okay. Thank you for being on. It was a little longer than an hour. I'm really sorry about that, but we covered a lot. I hope that was helpful for you guys.
Yes, it was helpful. Thank you.
Yep. All
So
right.
I have a question for the next group. Are you going to cover the same topics?
I think some of the topics we will always, we'll always talk about like, where's your gap? We had a gap of recruiting that we touched on, and we will talk about gaps, but we'll talk about different gaps because there will be a different gap for you. We are going to go into like, the next group is going to go into more of like the basics of the business and what do you need to do for your personal business and how do you stay accountable to yourself on that? So the basics of that are selling, booking, and recruiting, right? I shouldn't say selling, I should say sharing. We just talked about how we don't sell, but you know what I mean? Those 3 things. And then we are going to really zero in on the trip. And those are the things that are going to make the trip happen. So it's going to be more intense. I don't know if that's what you're looking for or not, but.
No, that helps me answer question number 1.
Good. Okay, everybody, have a super night, what's left of it, and we will see you in Messenger. If you could send that in a private message, that would be awesome. And then I will be in touch with you if you want to be part of the group. And yeah. Okay, thank you. See you soon.
Good night.
Bye.